Let's move on. Pressure has been mounting on Mali's military junta, and in the latest, the African Union has suspended the country's membership days after its military staged a second coup. The bloc has even threatened Mali with sanctions if the civilian transitional government is not restored. If imposed, these sanctions would severely impact the country, which is among the world's poorest. The African Union said that the situation in Mali was deeply concerning and has a negative impact on the gains made so far. It asked the Mali military to stop interfering in politics. The setback comes after the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, suspended Mali's membership, and the bloc said that suspension will remain in place until power is handed back to a democratically elected government. According to an ECOWAS brokered deal, Mali's military promised to transfer power by February 2022 through elections. Mali's military reached this agreement last year after it removed President Ibrahim Keita from power. However, last month, the military staged another coup and deposed the transitional president and prime minister. The leaders have been put on house arrest. Mali's military has said that it needs more time to organize elections. For more, Phil Ihaza is now joining us live from Abuja. Phil, thanks so much for joining us on WION at this hour. Now, the latest coming in is that the African Union has suspended Mali's membership days after its military staged a second coup. What can you tell us about this?
Oh, thank you. That exactly is the current status as we speak. The fact that Mali has been suspended from the African Union until they, ensure that a civilian transitional government is reinstituted, because the position of the African Union and, of course, the ECOWAS is that this is unacceptable, this is unpatriotic, and, of course, that if you're going to transit to a democratically elected government, it cannot be done by a military transitional government. And so that's the position they hold, and they say that they're going to impose sanctions, necessary sanctions targeted at ensuring that this occurs, especially with keeping the February 2022 election date sacrosanct. Also, other sanctions or other warnings have come from other international bodies, other countries like France. The president has also threatened to withdraw its over 5,000 troops which have been assisting Mali in its fight against insurgency since 2013.
Right, Phil. Now, what is the state of governance in Mali as of now? Since you mentioned upcoming sanctions, how will the suspension affect Mali's economy as of now, as we know the country is one of the poorest in the world?
That's absolutely correct. Mali is one of the poorest countries in the world, apart from the fact that the citizens are living, majority of the citizens are living in abject poverty. You know that the country has a history of insurgency, tackling various ethnic and religious conflict, which has claimed the lives of lots of its citizens. So Mali is actually facing a lot of issues, security issues, poverty, economic, and all of that. And so this particular coup, which is occurring the second in 9 months, is actually a setback for the country, a setback for governance, a setback for the citizenry, and that's why you can see the calls from the African Union and also other countries outside the continent also calling for the military to ensure that they avoid this activities that are occurring in Mali. So it's actually a very tough one. Quite a number of citizens are not happy. If you look at the streets of Mali, people are just, they're more careful now because it's a military government, and therefore things may not be as all the progress that they've made, for example, in the past 9 months, which the transitional government led by the former president and prime minister, who are there at the moment on the house arrest, that is on hold at the moment. And so we're hoping that we're just watching and monitoring to see if the current government led by Goita, that's Colonel Goita who led the coup, they'll heed to the calls of ECOWAS and, of course, African Union and other countries.
Right, Phil Ihaza, thank you so much for joining us from Abuja, Nigeria, with all those updates. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.